Hello, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month we're talking about women of the wheel, icons who turned motion into momentum and spun their legacies on spokes, skates, and potter's wheels. These women harnessed the power of the axle, pushing their crafts and professions forward through their works and lives. Today's Womanican was a true Renaissance woman. She was an athlete, a seamstress, and a dancer who turned heads wherever she went. She spun all of her talents together to become a pioneer in American cycling as one of the first Black members of the League of American Wheelmen. Let's talk about Kittie Knox. Kittie was born Catherine Knox in Cambridgeport, Massachusetts in 1874. Her father was a black tailor from Philadelphia, and her mother was a white textile worker from Maine. When Kittie was 7 years old, her father passed away, leading Kittie, her brother, and her mother to move to the West End in Boston. During her teenage years, Kittie began working as a seamstress and dressmaker and eventually saved enough money to buy her own bicycle. She soon became a fixture of her neighborhood, whizzing through the streets on her trusty set of wheels. Kittie also joined Boston's Riverside Cycle Club, one of the first all-black cycling clubs in the United States. Kittie came of age during a big cycling craze in the late 19th century. At first, penny-farthing bicycles, the kind with the large front wheel and much smaller rear wheel, were the most common. They were cumbersome and difficult to ride and mostly associated with upper-class men. The introduction of the much easier-to-use safety bicycle, the same model we use today, allowed more and more people to take up cycling, including women. But even as more Victorian-era ladies embraced the bike, Kittie's style of cycling was completely distinct. At the time, women primarily rode dropped-frame bicycles, as they allowed a rider to dismount while wearing a dress or skirt, and maintain her ladylike good manners. But that meant the rider had to deal with the extra weight and bulk of her big skirt. Not only was it heavy, it was awkward. Kittie opted for a diamond-frame bicycle instead, which had a higher crossbar and was mostly used by men. And she chose to ride in trousers. Her unorthodox cycling attire allowed her to whiz down the road with more ease and speed. This earned Kittie some disapproval from fellow female cyclists. Fast riding, sweating, having a focused face, and hunching your back were all seen as unladylike. But Kittie didn't care. In 1893, she joined the League of American Wheelmen, a national group for cycling enthusiasts that organized races around the country. The League had a rule that barred women from competing in any of its sanctioned races. But as a loophole, the organization came up with other opportunities for women to participate in League events, like holding bicycling costume contests. Kittie Knox was incredibly well-suited for these competitions, given her professional background as a seamstress. On July 4, 1895, Kittie won a costume contest in Waltham, Massachusetts, wearing her signature bloomers, of course. This accomplishment attracted a lot of press attention. Not only did Kittie win in pants, but she was also a working-class, biracial Black woman. Her success threatened traditionalists who believed cycling was for the white upper class only. Reports of her victory appeared in newspapers from Indiana to San Francisco, igniting a conversation about integration in cycling. When Kittie became a member of the League of American Wheelmen, there was no language segregating the organization. But in 1894, a year after Kittie joined, Southerners in Kentucky passed a motion that the League would be for whites only. This color bar created a lot of controversy in the cycling community, with many affiliate chapters in the Northeast opposing the racist policy. This conflict came to a head at the League's annual meetup in Asbury Park, New Jersey in 1895. Kittie made the trip from Boston to compete, but when she presented her certification of membership, she was still denied entry because of her race. She was also refused service at several local hotels and restaurants. The national press seized on the story. One news outlet reported, 99 out of 100 members interviewed expressed the heartiest sympathy for her and condemnation of the hasty action of the badge committee. The issue was eventually addressed in the League's weekly publication, which stated that, despite the new color bar, Kittie was already a member before the policy was implemented. The rule could not be applied retroactively. Kittie was still a member. Throughout her time in the cycling community, Kittie participated in many statewide meets. She rode in 100-mile races across Massachusetts, braving heavy rain and muddy highways that forced other racers to drop out. Kittie became known for her dexterity and speed as a rider. In 1896, the Boston Post heralded her as one of a rare few women scorchers, ladies who could keep pace with winning male cyclists. Had the League of American Wheelmen not had an edict against women competing in official races, Kittie would likely have been one of the top racers of her time. Outside of her cycling pursuits, Kittie was also an avid dancer. She was a member of a biracial vaudeville troupe. Her stage name was Miss Hub of Boston, and she even brought her bike on stage to show off her skills. Reportedly, when she attended a ball for the League of American Wheelmen, she was a hit on the dance floor and never without a partner. Kittkie Knox passed away at just 26 years old from kidney disease. She was buried in an unmarked grave for more than a century. But in the 2010s, a historian stumbled across her story and got connected with her descendants. In 2013, Kittie finally got a proper headstone, complete with an engraving of a bicycle. Her legacy is also memorialized with the Kittie Knox Community Cycling Center and Bike Path in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Every year, local cyclists can also participate in the Kittie Knox Ride to honor her legacy. Her story is a reminder of the perseverance of Black cyclists during an era when denigrating stereotypes and segregation barred people of color from participating in mainstream leisure activities. All month long, we're talking about women of the wheel. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow.